Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to the Kringle Society, and that is to the global community of TBCians. Once again, it's a pleasure to be with you. I am your pastor, TBC pastor, and then it's a pleasure all the time if I get the opportunity to speak to you. You are such an honorable, a great person. Today no one sees you, but very soon, and I bet you tomorrow great men are going to seek you. Great people are going to search for you. You are an Iroko tree in disguise. You are a mighty tree, a mighty person in disguise. No one sees you today. Yeah, because most of the times, beautiful things, good things comes in a very feeble and rough package. Yes, so don't undermine yourself. Don't underestimate yourself. I respect you. I salute your anointing and the grace of God upon your life. God bless you for watching me once again. And I am here to bring you good tidings. And today we are here to discuss about a revolution that is taking place in TBC, and that is a revolution of prayer. The very time that people begin to pray, then there is a beginning of a breakthrough. Yes, I am telling you, great things are happening in TBC community right now because the kingdom of darkness is beginning to realize and hear our voice, and they are giving up, and all the strongholds have been broken down. Today, I'm here to bring you a wonderful message entitled, Let's Pray for Our Broadcasters. Let's intercede for our broadcasters. Why the need to intercede for the broadcasters? You see, the broadcasters, as we see today, are the power or the voice of the community. They carry good tidings, and if we don't intercede for them, the devil will manipulate them to begin to carry bad news. And when the broadcasters are polluted, the community will be in danger. There was a time in the story of the Bible, and as we read from the book of Numbers chapter 13, as we want to refer from the very verse of 26, Numbers chapter 13, the verse of 26. You see, the children of Israel got to the edge of entering the promised land. They were just at the borders of the promised land, where they have been struggling and toiling to go for over 2 years. Where the Lord promised them the land flow with milk and honey, where their destiny or their future, their hope was destined to manifest, where they knew when they get there, there is going to be refreshment upon the several years of toil. They were just at the verge of entering. When the children of Israel was about to enter, they decided or they proposed that let's select people, a team of people to go and spy the land and then see how it is and then bring back information to us. And this was a good news. So Moses, in his wisdom, selected a team, a leaders, group of people, which he called elders. And they were about 12 spies, one from each tribe. And they were the top leaders in Israel. So he selected them to go and spy the land and bring back information. And these people had the potential to encourage Israel and help them enter the promised land in the next 3 days. They also had the potential to let Israel stay in the wilderness for 40 years. If we don't intercede for our broadcasters, what happened to Israel can happen to us, because the broadcasters brought bad news. Few had good news. And that was a very disaster to the community. Now let's read, as I said earlier, from the book of Numbers chapter 13. Numbers chapter 13, as I'll be referring from the verse of 26. And they departed and came back to Moses and Aaron and all the congregation of the children of Israel in the wilderness of Paran at Kadesh. And they brought back words to them and said to all the congregation, and showed them the fruit of the land. And they told him and said, we went to the land where you sent us, and truly it flows with milk and honey. And this is the fruit we went. Okay, I take it again. It truly flows with milk and honey, and this is the fruit. Nevertheless, the people who dwell in the land are strong. The cities are fortified and very large. Moreover, we saw the descendants of Anak there, and the Amalekite dwell in the land and in the south. The Amalekite dwell in the land of the south. The Hittite, the Jebusite, the Ammonite dwell in the mountain. The Canaanites dwell by the sea, along the bank of Jordan. Then Caleb quieted the people before Moses and said, "Let us go at once and take possession, for we are able to overtake it." But the men who had gone up with him said, "We are not able to go up against the people, for they are stronger than we." And they gave the children of Israel a bad report of the land which they had spied out, saying, "The land through which we had gone to spy is a land that devours its inhabitants, and all the people whom we saw are men of great stature." And there we saw the giants, that's the descendants of Anak, the Anak came from the giant, and we were like the grasshoppers, and in our own sight, and so were we in their sight. Listen once again. You see, it is quite an embarrassing moment in Israel when Israel have totally destined his destiny, has overthrown or given his destiny to a team of people. I call them broadcasters. Yeah, because in TBC community or the Kringle Society, the broadcasters are the people that admin or we send to go and hear from admin and bring back news to us. All right, so we have sent them to go and bring back news. So if the broadcasters are the mouthpiece of the admin, and if we don't pray for them, they can be polluted. And when the broadcasters are polluted and begin to broadcast bad news about the community, we are doomed. You see, we just as Israel needed faithful and courageous broadcasters who will speak positivity even when they don't feel it, who will speak positivity into whatever they think. Israel needed such kind of people to push the community forward. But unfortunately, the broadcasters turn them down by speaking negativity. And the moment our broadcasters begin to speak negativity, we are doomed. You see, the question is, was the land indeed a good land, flowing with milk and honey? Yes, it is, because they confess that we have even brought the fruit. It's a good land, flowing with milk and honey. Nevertheless, they began to speak the negative things that they think could have confronted them. Who told you the Kringle Society is going to move smoothly without a battle? We will indeed encounter several battles, but the battle we encounter should not stop us from moving forward. You see, there will be pressure from every corner, all angles, just as the children of Israel or the broadcasters were complaining that there are giants and the Anakites and the Amalekites there. Indeed, we are going to confront some giants as we move forward. I told you earlier on that your position, the position you are aspiring to occupy, is already occupied. It's already occupied by an elite. Elite within the community is occupying the position you are aspiring to occupy. There are great people that has already taken the lead, and they have occupied all the space. The land is not a virgin land. It's not a barren land. It's a land that indeed has so many occupants. But you know one thing? Until you begin to see the giant in you, you are not fit to experience such a land. Until you see yourself as a giant, you can't fit to enter the economy stage of the Kringle Society. See yourself like Caleb and Joshua. Despite their feeble and weak nature, they saw themselves to be strong enough to combat the people that were already occupying the positions. Don't let us be scared of what we see today, what people say about the community today. God needs few people who are positive-minded to lead the community. Our broadcasters need prayers so that they will be like Joshua and Caleb. Now, let's move on as we read from the verse of chapter 40. That is Numbers chapter 40, verse 1. So all the congregation lifted up their voices and cried, and the people wept that night. And all the children of Israel complained against Moses and Aaron and the whole congregation and said to them, If only we had died in the land of Egypt, or if only we have died in the wilderness. Why have the Lord brought us to the land to fall by the sword, that we and our wives and our children should become victims? Which will it not be better for us to return to Egypt? So they said to one another, let us select leaders and return to Egypt. Let's look at verse 6. But Joshua, the son of Nun, and Caleb, the son of Jephunneh, were on their way, the son of Jephunneh, who were among those who had gone to spy the land, tore their clothes. And they spoke to all the congregation, to the children of Israel, saying, the land that we passed through to spy is exceedingly good land. And if the Lord delight in us, that is a striking verse 8. If the Lord delight in us, then he will bring us into the land and give it to us, a land which flow with milk and honey. Only do not rebel against the Lord, nor fear the people of the land, for they are our bread, and their protection has departed from them, and the Lord is with us. Do not fear them. This is the awesome statement that the few good broadcasters brought. You know, while people were speaking negativity, there were few that were speaking positivity. My brothers and sisters, listen to me very attentively. We need to intercede for them. We need to pray for the broadcaster so that they'll always see positivities than negativities. If one broadcaster defects, he causes a lot of doom to the community because he is the mouthpiece of the admin, and people listen to him. It wasn't ordinary people that went to bring back report to Israel. These are the broadcasters that Israel entrusted their confidence in them. And our confidence is in them, broadcasters, to speak good things about the community. Some has even fallen asleep, some are tired, and some are giving up. We need to intercede for them because when they are strong, the community will be strong. When they rise, the community will rise. When they sleep, the community will sleep. We need to intercede for them. And but remind you, few people that have positive minded and has faith, like Caleb and Joshua, are the only people that will experience the luxury of this community. The negative people may not experience because they will give up along the way before we get there. God has a reason sometimes why he allows things to delay. He allows things to delay so that he can see to get the right people that indeed are fit to experience his glory. Perhaps we've not yet entered our liquidity because the Lord is still sieving and he has not yet finished sieving. Now the condition is, if the Lord is to sieve, which side will you belong to? Will he belong to the people that spoke positive into the community by saying, if the Lord delight in us, he will bring us to the land, and for the people are our bread, and the Lord will give them to us. Only do not rebel against the Lord, nor fear the people. You see, are you among them, or you are going to join the people that speak negatives? The community is keeping long. Admin is on faster. Admin is taking our money, and the broadcasters what should we say? They are taking advantage of the people. The Bitcoin bounty is just meant to feed a minority of the community, put monies into their pocket. A whole lot of negativity. It is a scam. It is a hoax. It's not going to stand. Admin will die and go away with the password, and the community will be disintegrated. Who told you all this? You see, these are your mindsets. We need to be positive, despite the giant we see along the way. We need to still say we will be able. You are the brigade of tomorrow. You are the Mark Zuckerberg of tomorrow. You are the Jack Ma of tomorrow. You are the Dangote of tomorrow, the Alibaba of tomorrow. You are. Just believe yourself and know that the Lord is preparing you today to occupy a very big position, and therefore you have to be strong enough to stand. And that is why we need to intercede for them. If you are not too courageous and faithful, you will see, but you will reach there. May God forbid, I pray, that the Lord give you faith. The Lord cause you to be among the people that speak positive. The Lord give you tenacity, ability. Rise every morning, intercede. As I said, we will never cease, at least 30 minutes every day. Intercede for the community of God. Intercede for the broadcasters. Intercede for the men that have taken it upon themselves to risk their life and to help us push the community into its liquidity. Intercede for them. They are working very hard, tirelessly, night and day. The amount of call that comes upon the broadcasters every day is not easy. We need to intercede for them because there are bad nuts out there who may even begin to attack their broadcasters. Anything can happen, Yes, because they are people that champion the community and they have led a lot of people into the community, and therefore there are going to be attack on them if things go slow. And that's why we need to pray, intercede for them, that the Lord should give them faith and courage to continue. Yeah, because every day in and day out, they have bad news. People threaten their life. People say a whole lot of things against them. And that is the strategy of the devil to weaken the hands of the workers, like the days of Nehemiah. When they are able to weaken the hands of the workers, then they become feeble and the work will not continue. And that is why we need to rise. Every day intercede for the broadcasters. And tell the Lord that the Lord should give them courage to speak positivity into the community. The more we speak positive, then we are encouraging our people, then we are strengthening them, then we are leading them gradually into the promised land. And I assure you, we shall surely get there. We speak from the realms of the Spirit. We speak from the depth of what we have seen. We have seen something bigger than what you can imagine. Something great is ahead of us. We shall surely reach our promised land. We shall enter liquidity. Nothing can stop this community. Nothing can stop it. Whether you believe or not, we will enter. But the only thing is that if you don't team up yourself right strongly and build yourself up, you will be fit to enter such a land. God uses delay to screen and to get the selected few who are strong enough to enter his lottery. I pray that the Lord give you such foresight, give you understanding. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. As you subscribe, it means you are throwing your tie behind this agenda. You are ready to rise every day, intercede at least 30 minutes for yourself and for the community at large. And every day as we drop the verse from the scriptures and the topic, we want you to base on that and pray. And as I said today, the topic is that we are interceding for the broadcasters, that the Lord should put in their utterance, their mouth, positivity, that they will speak positive to the hearing of the people, but not negativity. God bless you so much for subscribing and liking my Facebook page, TBC Pastor. As you just subscribe, you search TBC Pastor, you see me there. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, and every day you have an update. We will knock at your door every day. There is always a need for people to sound the alarm, blow the herald for the rest to rise and pray. And we have taken it upon ourselves to blow the herald, to sound the herald, and then blow the alarm all the time for you to be on your toes until we hit and reach our destination. God bless you. May the Lord strengthen you and give you longevity. In Jesus' name, amen.